So I'm at Southern Thunder Harley Davidson here in South Haven, Mississippi, and I'm going to go inside and take a look at some of their new bikes. They have the 25s right here and the 25 CVOs, but more importantly, they have the Street Glide Limited with the new lower fairing. So that's the bike that I came up here to take a look at, and I want to take a look at these lower fairings, and I'm going to do a comparison between the new lower fairings compared to the fairings that on the prior generation bikes. So we'll go inside and take a look. Southern Thunder Harley Davidson has a pretty nice selection of the newer bikes, both street glides and road glides, as well as some carryover models from the 24 model year. But these are not the bikes that I was here to see. I want to take a look at that Street Glide Limited with those new lower fairings. Now, as I approach the bike, you notice a very obvious design change, and it's nice and sleek looking and complements the bike really well. It also appears to be a one-piece unit, and the way it's designed seems to drive air towards the motor, which should assist with cooling, but also keep debris from hitting your leg while you're riding. On the side, you'll see a slot that is for a light upgrade kit, which is pretty nice. So the construction looks good, the quality looks good, and it blends in well with the new design theme of the bike. Now, these fairings also have a small storage bin, which seems to be a decent amount of space and maybe even big enough to add an additional speaker if you want. But the one thing I don't like is that little plastic latch. I've had so many problems with the glove boxes on my 23 CVO with those little plastic pieces breaking. Now, the fairing also wraps underneath the bike, and the way it's designed, you still have the engine guard that's sticking out a bit, so that should help to protect the lower fairing in the event of an accidental drop. You'll also see that the engine guard is shaped differently, so in order to use this part, you're going to have to replace your engine guard. Now, I also wanted to take a look at the tour pack, because I was expecting the tour pack design to change, but it did not. This is the same tour pack from prior model years, and you can see that the license plate frame is still there, along with the license plate frame for the new bike design. So you got two license plate frames, which is a little bit weird. Seems like they would have removed that. Inside the tour pack is exactly the same amount of space, but there's no light bar or anything like that, as well as no speaker pods. But it's still a really good looking bike, and it'll give you the opportunity to add those parts if you want. Seems like they would have had that going in, but that's the choices that they made. But as for the fairings, lower fairings actually look fantastic to me. I love the design, I love the shape, and they should do a really nice job and protect the rider the way you want it to. In terms of everything else on the bike, it all just seems to be carryover parts. I'm really happy with mine and the design, so I don't know what they could have changed. I was hoping for a few minor changes, but pretty much what we got was a new selection of paint colors, and we're going to take a look at some of those as well. The new lower fairings will fit on my 2023 CVO Road Glide, but there are three parts that I'll have to purchase to make it work. Obviously, I have to buy an unpainted lower fairing. It's going to cost $560.95. The new engine guard that's required will cost $199.95. And you will also need a support bracket, which is specific to the Road Glide, according to the Harley website, and that is $186.95. So the parts alone are going to set you back for a total of $947.85, and that's without painting. Now, I was looking on the Harley website, and I don't see where they have the dark platinum paint, which would match my Road Glide, so I have to get it painted myself. And I have no idea what that'll cost. I imagine it's at least a few $100s. So my guess is this upgrade would probably cost somewhere between probably $1,300 and $1,500, somewhere in that neighborhood. So am I going to do it? I don't know. I'd like to have lower fairings, but with my CVO, I would also have to give up the fang fairings, or whatever you call those things that hang down from the fairing. And I like the way they look, but having the comfort and the extra convenience of real lower fairings would be nice, especially on a long distance trip. Now, this bike I saw online and I thought it was hideous, but seeing it in person, the CVO Road Glide ST looks phenomenal. This is a really good looking paint job, and you know, some specs in the paint. It's just a nice design, and it looks so much better than it does just looking at it online. In fact, if I were going to get a new bike, this is probably the one I would get, because it's just a little bit different. It's different. So I don't know. I like it. I really like it. It seems to be everything is a carryover from the 24s except for the paint, which is not a bad thing because it's a fantastic looking bike. Unfortunately, they also carried over those little plastic clips. On my CVO, I have replaced those things probably 5 or 6 times. Now this bike is a different story. This color scheme is out there. I can't say that I'm a fan of it. It does look good, but this is not for me. It does have a lot of chrome on it, so if you're into chrome, this bike has chrome for days. Everything is chromed out on this bike. That's pretty sharp looking. I think the black might look a little bit better, but I mean, I don't know. I guess some people like chrome. One thing I noticed about the bike that I don't remember seeing on prior model years is the switch housing is also chromed out as well as the hand grips. So again, this is straight chrome bike. If you want chrome, this is for you. But much like the other CVOs, there's really no change other than this custom paint job. This is another one of the color options that I saw online that I did not think I was going to like. But seeing it in person, it looks much, much better. It is a purple bike. I don't know that I'm a fan of purple, but I like the way it blends in with the black. It's just a really sharp looking color. Wouldn't be my first choice. I think my first choice will still be the CVO ST, but this bike is stunning. Very, very good looking, and whoever ends up with this one will probably be pretty happy. This appears to be a bone stock CVO that does not have any of the new accessories for 2025. So if you're planning to get one of these new bikes, leave me a message and let me know which one caught your eye. This is Q. I'm riding, I'm wrenching, and I am out.